Okay, now you can hear me. Sorry about that. Stop streaming. Now we're good. Alright, so what we want to talk about today is ToppsKillz, um, and we're going to do some modding. Very simple modding, but I'm going to use AI to help us come up with ideas, help us come up with settings and things that we can do to create the effects and things we want. So I want to use an example. Um, my name's ToppsKillz, and I have a couple of mods. One of mine is Zombies for You, and that mod, if you go to STP or STP, uh, Steam, I should say. I keep saying STP, and go to your mods, and go to your files, which I posted, and go to my mod here, Zombies for You. Now, in my zombies, it's a retexture of the standard vanilla zombies, and I've given them some new texture and new effects and new abilities. And I've been working on this since January of 2023. Probably a bit before that, but that's when things got it got actually uh, posted, published to Steam to make it work, so others can use it. So what I'm going to talk about is how can you create your own mod, but how can you use Daisy, ChatGPT, for example, to come up with ideas, to come up with effects, to come up with things like that. So we'll get started. Um, so I'm going to go over to my ChatGPT. Now, um, around that time that I created this mod, I was told that this is not possible. That ChatGPT does not write in InforScript. Daisy uses and has their own proprietary language. It is based off a C plus, a C sharp language, but it's called InforScript and it's proprietary. So you have to write the scripts and codes in a certain way and use their format, otherwise it will not work. ChatGPT in version 3 and early version 4, especially at 3.5, it could not do this, not effectively. ChatGPT 4 and above now, um, it can do this, but you have to be very strict about it, telling it what you want to accomplish, and make sure that it's in InforScript. And you do have to try and try again, but you don't have to use it just for scripts. You can use it for ideas. So I have some things here. I'm going to say a new project, start a new project. So to let you know, I do pay for ChatGPT, $20 a month. I'm on the Plus, um, ChatGPT Plus, because I use it very often. And if you're on the free service, you don't get access to some of these other versions, and um, you can only send so many messages, and then next thing you know, um, you have to wait to use it for free again later. So let's do this. Let's go to here, project name. I'm going to call it using AI to create Daisy mods. Go to create our project. New chat is using AI to create Dayz mods. Add files, add instructions. Let's add instructions. Let's say, I want you to help me create Dayz mods. I want you to only use Dayz enforce scripts and config .cpp syntax and formats. Give me 5 Dayz beginner, say beginner, right? I can spell beginner. 5 beginner. Did I spell that right? Dayz mod ideas and explain how I can use chat GPT to create it. Let's see what it says. All right, so we're in here in chat GPT. We put in give me 5 beginner Dayz mod ideas and explain how I can use chat GPT to create it. Here's 5 beginner friendly Dayz mods ideas with exact steps on how you can use ChatGPT to actually make them from scratch. I'll keep these in your blank for you naming style, because I have like zombies for you, clothing for you. So this is why it's giving me this, because it remembers the mods I've worked on in the past. So here's one called B for you. In other words, backpacks. So backpacks for you. Custom backpack mod. Now this is a very simple mod. I haven't come up with this mod. I have nothing for this mod. I'm going to do whatever it suggests here simply from the ideas that it has. Now, again, we could call this, we could change this name, whatever. Add fun foods like a golden burger that heals more or gives special effects. This is a lot of things here. How can I help you make it? Create the config.cpp, or I can script the .c files, textures and RV mats, types and XMLs, and loot spots. Now, a lot of these things are things that we do. These files are files that we need to create a mod in Dayz. Weapon reskin. You can reskin weapons. We can do that too. Custom clothing pack. This is very common and very almost always the first thing that everybody does when they create a mod. A lot of times it is a t-shirt, for example, or a hoodie. Hoodies are our go-to for our advertise our servers and have people spawn in our hoodies and things like that. Simple map decoration mod. Add a few placed objects to the map. Example, Halloween pumpkins, Christmas trees, signs, things like that. So, how to best use ChatGPT for mod creation. Okay, we have steps here. It says give ChatGPT a clear goal. I want a glowing green hoodie with its own class name and loot spawn. I'll write the complete config.cpp.script and .rvmats for you. I'll also help with folder structure so it compiles in Dayz tools. You can paste error messages here if something fails and it'll debug the script. I found that the easiest way, because I am not that much of an expert, is I don't use the debug scripting. I just go in and make it try to load it once I get it going, and it gives you errors. Dayz will give you the place where there's an error, and then use that line by line to fix my errors. I can help with artwork, texture, .ba, creation steps, and testing tips. So you know if it's loading correctly in game. If you want, I can pick up one of these ideas right now and make the full working config. So let's first have an example of I'm gonna go in. This is my test server. You can see I'm here. I don't have much. I've been in here messing around. So I'm gonna use my zombies for you mod, for example. So what I'm gonna do, I have admin privileges on here. It's mine. I'm gonna go to player mode. I'm gonna make sure I have God mode on, and the reason for that is so that I don't die, right? And then I'll make sure I have unlimited ammo because I'm gonna need it. Anyway, if I go to, for example, the camera mode, and I'm go down here, and I'm gonna spawn in some of my zombies. So go back in here again. Item spawner. Zombies for you is Z for you. There we go. And let's say I have just spawn in some of my guys here. So I want it on at the crosshair. I'm gonna spawn in a few of my zombies here, and you'll see. Oh, he already had a effect. Did you see that? They're kind of close to me. That's why. All right. So now I'm gonna go back to where I am, and I'm gonna reload. No, I won't reload. Switch this. Huh, I don't have a gun. Well, let me spawn in a magazine here. I'm gonna need one. I want it to go on the ground. Pick a few of these up. I'm not going to need this stuff, so I'm going to put one more in my inventory, even though we got unlimited ammo. And what I want to do is, I want you to listen and see and watch the zombies as I get close, because they have some effects. What happens? Now, one of them's already done it. I got to look into that, find out why he's done it so soon. But let's try to go up here and get this guy to do it. Alright. Now, there was a noise there. Oh, somebody did it.
I want to play a game.
Alright, so these are custom sound effects that's been on my mod since the beginning. Which is not really hard to do. You don't need AI to create something like that. But my mod's not working right now. What's happening? Anyway, these are all retextured, as you can see. They're vanilla. So what we'll do is we're gonna go down here. I'm not quite sure why that wasn't working, but let's make them spawn in a little closer. Alright, you see his uniform change with the alien abductor. Fortunately, my zombies don't seem to be working, but this guy did. When he changed his uniform now, I'm gonna shoot him, and he changed back. That's because of a script and some retexturing and some different RV mats. Well, I'll explain that to you. That is not something that's standard in DayZ, but it can be done. And I was able to do it using AI because I am not a scripter. Let's try another one. See, maybe Jason Voorhees will aggro. Yeah, see, he changed. He did that because I have a proximity where you get close enough, they'll change. And you see his mask has changed, his uniform has changed. Several items on him have changed. Shoot him. It's a little bit to where it's too much. He changes too quickly. Usually it's down to 20 or 30% damage. But you get the idea. DayZ zombies don't normally look like that. And the idea is that they get alerted from you and change to a scary character. So let's exit out of that. And I'm going to show you another thing you can do. Which I used AI to give me ideas on a mod. Let me go back here. Go home. Back here. Sorry. We're going to go offline mode now. Yeah, that's my server. It's just 10 slots right now. Let's just use it for testing. It is unlocked. If people want to go there and play, they can. But I'm going to offline mode. I'm going to show you the one that I have not published yet. Well, it was published before, but I'm completely redoing it with some new items. Just to make sure it's working. Again, I don't have my second monitor up at the moment, so I'll check. I'll have to go back and forth and check my stream and make sure, see if anyone's in there or what's going on. Probably no one's in there. All right. Gonna go. This is different. We have the Y button. And I have a clothing for you mod. I'm currently redoing it. It does not have these items in there yet, but I'm going to use my clothing for you. C for you. Ah, it's not in there. Maybe I didn't load it. No, looks like I didn't load it. Let's back out again. That's what it is. I didn't load up my clothing for you mod because I'm just trying to give you some examples of things that you can do. This is our simple retextures mod that I'm about to show you. However, I can add things to it. And what the idea for this mod though came from Chat GPT. The colors, the ideas of the names, type of items, and I can show that to you in just a second once we load in here. So I asked it to create me um, on a clothing remodel that, let's look at for example, cyberpunk, and find some ideas for clothing from it. And it helped me to um, come up with names for different items and a coloration scheme, and go from there. And it gave me some ideas. I'll show you that conversation in just a minute once this loads up. Going back into offline mode, and I'll make a video on how you can do offline mode. There are lots and lots of videos out there. Look for Tweaks, for example. He has a video on it. Matthew Longtime has a video on it. Grandpa Dayz has a video on it. Lots and lots of people have videos on this. How to download and install Dayz offline mode, and then how to use it for testing your mods and things like that. Shout out to those guys. I've learned so much from them over the years. Um, so let's get into here, and we're gonna go now. My clothing mod should be there. C4U. Okay, so we have a lot of things in here that are from my original mod, like my original hoodies and things like that. These are just simple retextured hoodies, maybe some changes in slots, how much the items can wear. But I have some other items in here. I did have some other items in here. There's a mask, for example. Maybe I need to rethink this because I thought I had everything in here already. It looks like it's not here yet, or maybe I haven't added them in yet. But okay, let's say, oh, for example, this. We'll put this on the ground. All right. What's happened here because my mods are not on here. This is a simple how we can do things. Oh, just with retexturing, for example. Now we got a t-shirt. It's a green t-shirt. It's a regular t-shirt that's been retextured to have this image on it. And this is the beginning of my retexturing. And this right here, back in the day, several years ago, was like the best I could get. It looks like something was posted on here, or ironed on here, or stuck on here, like a label on the shirt. And that is not the best look. It looks different, but it's not the best look. So you can do things differently now. And I don't know why my cyber clothing that's not there. I have a set of cyber clothing. CYB. Nope, it's not there. Okay, let's do it this way. Maybe I downloaded that just from Steam. If I've done it from Steam, then yes, that would only have my original mod. Let's check this one more time. Sorry guys, I should have this all organized, but this is my first kind of explanation or tutorial stream, and I'm not sure that I had it correctly set up at all. In fact, I'm not as organized as others would be. Yeah, this is from the Steam Workshop, that's why. I told it to load it from my local, but yeah, that right here, got to get my local because this is not published yet. This is not. There is a clothing for you, but not with these new items in it. All right. So one of the things that I've done is just check my stream real quick. Sorry guys, I have to do this. I will fix this by the next time. And click on this. And click on this. Yeah, of course nobody's watching. Click on this. Yeah, of course nobody's watching. Click on this. Yeah, of course nobody's watching. Click on this. But here we go. That's good because I can edit that beginning out later. Alright, so now we got the right, that was my original clothing for you mod, and now I have the new one, which I'm not posted yet, but I will. And I can show you the difference in the quality of things that I'm working on and have worked on in the past. So C4U. So now we have a lot of different types of jackets, right? So these are, those aren't textured yet. These are some of the jackets that I'm working on. All different color schemes. And these are all color schemes that have been suggested by ChatGPT. They even gave me the color codes and things to use, and even RV mats, which is a lifesaver because you have to go in and create everything, and you don't, if you're not very good with colors, which I'm not. The RV mats help tell the game how the lighting should react. So we're getting back into my original items here. So let's go to this. Let's make it 100% health. And I'm going to go through just the black jackets. Again, we'll take the stuff off so it's easier to see. Take off that jacket. Now this is a retextured bush plat police jacket. Bush lat police jacket. And like I said, I used a simple retexturing. I used GIMP and retextured it the way I wanted. And this is a 4K image. This is not 2K. Now my screen is, I'm using a, not using a 4K monitor, but I'm using a scale up, scale down in my video card. But this image is not a 1K or 2K image that normally is in Dayz. I took the image from this and I upscaled it using AI, and it is a 4K image. And then I did my work on it. And because of that, I can zoom a lot further in and get a lot more clarity on the jacket and things like that. Now this is a lot more noticeable in things like this badge here and some of my other jackets. So that's the red, and we got this green here, or blue, I think, cyan, and then a green. and then I got orange, and then a magenta, and then silver, and a gold. And these are besides the silver and gold, these are uh, color schemes that was suggested to me by ChatGPT. So I wanted a leather look jacket and have a whole series of them. I have other ideas for the other jackets, uh, but I wanted to redo these so they have kind of a leather look. And what we're going to do now is go again, and I'm going to type in, say, my gold ones. Um, and it named us. These names all came from ChatGPT: Cyber Inferno, Cyber Ice, Cyber Toxic, Cyber Flare, Cyber Pulse, Cyber Silver, Cyber Gold. So this is all set up by ChatGPT. Um, and then I decided what color codes I wanted. So let me look at the silver ones. I think I've done some work on these on the badge. Um, so I'm gonna pick up a few of these. I'm gonna put one of these on, and you can tell that oh, it's all the same jacket. Okay, but you can see a lot more detail in it now. You can even see the stitching on the threads right here. Because it's a 40K image, and you can go in there and work really deep, you can see a lot more of the stitch, a lot more detail, the individual stitching around this patch. And it makes everything, when you're zoomed out as a player, let's just go to that view, it makes everything a lot better. Now we can go to camera view, zoom out a little bit, slow my mouse down and come in. And you can see it has a lot better quality. You can even see the individual stitching down this area here, and you can zoom way in. The quality would look a lot better. I am not the best person to texture, but I feel like I've done okay. Now you can go here. I could go back in and fix these button here and that button down there. I make it silver or gold or black or whatever. Um, and then what it does, let's say we want something to look more leather or, for example, plasticky. You just have to go through and cut out your areas and make them the different patterns that you want, right? So that's some examples of the work that I am doing, and I have done with AI. Now let's go over into one of my projects, which is this clothing mod. So as you can see, I've been working on this for some time now. So I'm going to go all the way up to the top. Awesome. Let's get started. Can you tell me a bit more about? I want to make a new Dayz mod. What's your mod idea? Here are the questions to help guide. Basic mod info. What's the mod called? What does the mod do? Is this for SP, MP, or both? Um, Are you adding new assets or zombies, weapons, clothing, etc.? Are you scripting new behaviors or mechanics? Is this part of your existing mod series? Now, these are all questions that ask me to make me think about what I wanted to do with this mod and go from there. And then it said these are the deliverables that it can provide. It can provide config.cbps, .c scripting, custom retextures or RV mats, sounds or particle effects. And I have some sounds and particle effects in my zombie mod. Types.xml, events.xml, config, events, spawns, and .xml, mod folder structure. Once I know the basic concept, I can build a mod structure and help from the ground up. I told him it will be a clothing mod following my other mod naming platform, so I will call it Clothing for You. Now, perfect. Clothing for You, C for You, fits right in with your existing mod family. Clothing for You mod blueprint. Now, the mod purpose is going to tell me what it thinks it is. Initial questions, ask me questions, and then gives me a folder or a structured layout of how I have to put the files and into the folder structure so that when we pack it, it's in the right place. And then also, um, it will keep everything straight. And let's say you don't want it in materials, but you want each thing in its own folder, like materials RV mats folder. It will then, and you tell it, and it will create that for you. Um, and make sure that all the scripts have that pathway to the right folder and right place. For example, it creates a config for if you want to retexture, say, a Gorka jacket. Here's what you need. So it gives you a layout. This is in config.cpp script. It gives you a layout of what you would need just to do a Gorka jacket, for example. And CPU Gorka jacket blood red. It will be a blood red version of the Gorka jacket. This is all created by AI. So if someone tells you that you can't use AI for Dayz scripting, you can use it to do a tremendous amount that you won't have to do, but you have to know and understand what you're looking at. And then it tells you what you'll need. Texture files. You'll want to retexture .pa diffuse map and optional.smdi, nohq, as, and RV mats for advanced effects. Now, most of us are going to use the .pas, and that's enough for a retexture. But if you want it to look and do the things that you want it to, you at least need to retexture a .pa and a dot and this nohq. Now that's the bitmap or the normal map is the nohq. And then to tell the lighting, how do you want these particular items to actually reflect lighting in the game or look more plastically or metal like or cloth like? You're going to need the RV mat, right? And it says it can help with create folder place folder structures, generate examples.rv mats for glowing parts, set up female and male variants. Would you like me to create the first retextured item for you? It will actually generate one item or more, as many items, and go from there. I want to make more futuristic style clothing for Dayz. First, from the vanilla items, I like the style of futuristic games like Mass Effect and Cyberpunk, so I'll be making a lot of shiny leathers and metallic shiny clothing, jackets, boots, and shoes. What do you think? That sounds fire and perfect visual twist for Dayz, especially since most clothing mods are still stuck in military grunge and medieval themes. Doing a futuristic fashion line like Cyberpunk X or Mass Effect X Dayz would absolutely stand out. So anyway, it then goes through and says this is going to be a unique style. It has easy starting point and the killer combo with other mods. So materials you'll want to play with. You're going to mess. This is for inside your RV mats. You're going to mess with your diffuse, your emissive, your specular power, your pixel shaders, vertex shaders. And you're going to make sure that, because you want it to look well, it's in super for enhanced lighting. If you want things to glow, you're going to have high gloss chrome, for example, is 40 to 60. Shine reflection color, it tells you here. Glow for edges or lights, it tells you what kind of setting that is, and a base color. Now, suggested vanilla items to start with, and it gives me the jackets, Gorka jacket, cargo pants, combat boots, tactical helmet, and tactical gloves, and MVG head strap. Now, to find those things, you've got to have Dayz tools installed. There's lots of people to show you how to install Dayz tools. If you don't know by now, if you're here, you should already know how to install Dayz tools. So let's go to back to my Steam, and I'm going to go to my Dayz tools, and I'm going to launch it. If you need a video on how to install Dayz tools, again, the aforementioned modders and YouTubers have videos about this. Matthew Longtime, um, Tweaks, um, so many. There's so many out there. Um, Grandpa Dayz, uh, lots and lots of guys. Just look up how to install Dayz tools. You're going to find all kinds of videos. And what they do is go in through and tell you nuances on what does this mean, dismount your P drive or mount your P drive or extract the game data. And what we always want to do, I have mine set up to do it automatically when you start a computer, is I have mine set up to launch Dayz and to mount the P drive and extract game data. But it'll look something like this. Click yes. And you're going to see it do all this. It's extracting the game data. And then it tells you it's done. Hit any button. Okay. So now what we can do is we can go in our files and we can go into our game folder, which is our P drive, and we will see a extracted version of Dayz and Dayz's files. And of course, it'll include the projects that we've created. So if we want to, for example, find these images that it's talking about, AI was talking about .paa images and RV mats. We're for clothing. We're going to go into Dayz. Going to go to characters right here, characters, and then we're going to go to tops because that's what we've been working on. Tops. This means shirts, not tops. It's ToppsKillz, but all right. And then once you get inside the folder, you're going to have the model. These are the models that date from Dayz, vanilla models that all of our clothing is based on. Our tops, our shirts, our jackets, our those items, hoodies. They're all in here to P3D files. That's the model, right? And then click in data, and you're going to have all of these files they're talking about. Let's put this in by type. So we have here the PAA. Now your PAA is usually like your base color image, right? Armbands. These are the armbands. And these are your blouses and your bomber jacket, and your down jacket. Now it said something about, let's try using the Gorka jacket, right? So if you're going to go to the Gorka jacket, let's say the summer, this is the ground file. See that _G/_? This is the image for changing it what it looks like on the ground. We don't want that one. We want to mess with the jacket as is. So this one right here, the _.co.paa, that is the base color texture. The SMDI is for this item also, but that has to do with different lighting instructions. And you can create these images as well. It requires some tools or some know-how. And then we have NoHQ. Now NoHQ is going to be your bump map, or what we call in Dayz a normal map. And it basically shows the highs and lows on the image, on the texture, and tells the game how to render it out. And then we're going to have, we scroll down, we're going to have a file called the .rvmat. We get down to the .rvmats, which is going to be down here, and we're going to look for the Gorka. So might have went too fast. We're going to find the Gorka upper, not the one on the ground. The Gorka upper .rvmat. Now this is a script. This is not an image. So you're going to open this up. I have it set up to open up in my Notepad++. If you're going to mod anything, you're going to want to download Notepad++. Now, when you do, there's videos on that. When you watch these other videos about how to install Dayz tools, they usually recommend Notepad++. And this is what the inside of a .rv mat looks like. And what this is this is a set of instructions to tell Dayz how each and every item should reflect light or absorb light and texture itself in the game. Now, all of the vanilla RV mats for Dayz, they stop around a stage 7. And these different stages have different categories of things that need to be done. Different effects that are different types of light are encoded by and named by their stage. Stage 6, stage 7, they all have different meanings. So, for example, if you wanted to say stage 5, here's another one. You don't know what any of this means. You don't understand it. You don't understand this code here. So let's just take this right here. This is where AI comes in. Copy this. Let's go back over to our AI. And you can go right, let's go right to our new project and say, can you explain what the following snippet means in a Dayz.rb mat? And you can paste it right in here and hit enter, and it's gonna read this and then tell us and explain to us what it is. Yeah, that snippet is from Dayz.rb mat and is defining one of the texture stages, in this case stage 4, that the game engine uses when rendering a material. Here's the breakdown. Class Stage 4 in Dayz and Arma materials are built from multiple stages. Think of them as the slots for different kinds of textures or effects. Stage 0 is often the base color albedo. Stage 1 might be the normal map. Stage 2 could be SMDI, and later stages can be overlays, hidden selections, or special effect maps. Stage 4 here is the one of those slots telling the renderer for the 5th stage of rendering, here's the texture and how to map it. So using AI, if you don't use it for anything else except to explain the coding, scripting, the language inside of Dayz, you can use AI to give you instructions on what this means so you can further understand it. All right. Texture Dayz characters tops Gorka upper is as.pa. This is the path to the texture file that will be supplied in stage 4. The .pa is a Bohemian interactive texture format. In this case, Gorka upper as.pa is likely an ambient shadow as, and that's what those images, the ones that say as, are for the ambient shadow textures. So you would create, if you wanted that jacket to have an ambient shadow effect, you would create a as.pa, and the name is, it has to be named this at the end for that specific item, and it will tell, and then you'll reference that PAA inside, right here, inside of your RV map. So this is what the game looks at and says, hey, do I have any ambient shadow for this item? Well, yes, of course you do. This is the image you want to reference. It will find this image, and then it will take that image and base these are settings and with this image, and then it will render it onto the item itself. So we'll get back to the chat GPT. The source is text. This tells the renderer to use the standard texture UV mapping from the model's text channel. So the model, again, let's go back to the file structure. Let's go back up one to the tops, and it'll find the model. It pulls in the model for the Gorka jacket, which is the upper. This is a female version, and this is the male version, right? So if we've got a male, it will reference this model and that AS and the .PA for the base color, and then it'll go to the RV mat, and RV mat will tell it use this type of lighting or this type of shadow, and then it will reference the positions on the .PAAs of where the shadow is, or the lighting, or the emissive glowing figures. Now, to make something glow, you have to have an emissive stage, a stage 8. So most of the Dayz things stop at stage 7. But there's an item, there's a particular zombie and a couple of items in Dayz that have glowing effects. For example, chem lights. If we go over to chem light, Dayz I think camping or gear, and then I think it's in camping, and we're gonna let's look in here. I might be wrong. Somebody's probably screaming at the thing now if there's anybody watching. It's not here. Okay, back. I think it might be miscellaneous. Hold on a second. Containers, cooking, crafting, cultivation. Dayz. Well, my point is this is how Dayz works. It finds the base color, it finds the SMDI, it finds the normal map, it finds AS.PAA, and then it goes for instructions on how to make react with lighting and present it in the game, the model in the game of that item. It goes to the RV mat for instructions, and you can change those instructions. So let's go into my mod, for example, go P games, and we're going to go to we'll go to zombies for you, and we're going to go into my data, and let's just look for one of my RV mats. So let's look for Jason Voorhees. I think I'm using, no, let's not use him. Big Ben, green eyes, Billy Mays eyes, Freddy Krueger. Let's use this one, Freddy Krueger's eyes. All right. So in my mod, most of the zombies' eyes are glowing, and to do that, we had to create a couple of things. This is my early days. Now, the glowing effects on my zombies stem from a mod. This mod here, I can look it up for you. Dayz workshop, and we're going to type in glowing eyes. And these are the original guys that I remember sharing a way to make your zombies' eyes glow. Nope, it's not them. Sorry. Let me go back. D. Let's see, glowing eyes. How are they at? They're gonna be here somewhere because they're still posted. And it's really a shame. Huh. Well, there's all kinds of glowing effects in here now. Glowing bears, you know. But the glowing eyes is called from a mod worker called, I think, DMSC, DMCS. Maybe. Where are these guys? Anyway, they came out with a way to make your zombies' eyes glow. And what they did is they realized that if they created in the RV mat a stage 8, for example. Now this is my Freddy Krueger RV mat. So class stage 8, you create your own .pa. You got to go and use the one from the game, and then you're going to create the PA image. You're going to manipulate it, retexture it the way you want, and you have to include this stage 8 in here to make things glow or have an emission in the game on that item. So you have to go in here and create a modified .rvmat inside of your mod with a stage 8, because the game will not do it without the stage 8. Now if you look at this Freddy Krueger eyes e co.pa. Now put the E in there so I know it's for the emissions, and I try to stay as close to naming convention and formats that Dayz uses. So let's go to PAA, that PA, Fred F. Krueger. See for you. Krueger PA. Now we're going to find the eyes. Or I might have it up here. No. It'll be at the bottom. Alright. So Freddy Krueger eyes co.pa. Now you really can't open this without Dayz tools at first, and you'll get explained this in those videos. But you're going to go to your text view. I'm going to go File and Open. We're going to open that. We're going to open that PA. So we're going to go to Data, and I want to make sure I'm in the right place. So I'm going to go to my P drive, Characters. But I want to be in Zombies for You. So let's go to Projects. I'm going to go to Zombies for You. I'm going to go to Data, and I'm going to look for that Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger eyes.co.pa, and I'm going to open that. Now you can see right here, basically the way you make things glow is you've got to create an image like this. You've got to take, so you take your base model image and you're going to put it, you're going to go in and retexture it. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go and cut out the areas that you want to possibly glow, and you're going to change the colors on them, and you're going to make a layer and copy those out into a layer, and then you're going to take and cover the whole thing black. You're going to make the whole image black. And then you're going to paste back in that layer that you want to show a glowing effect. For example, here I got the stripes on the jacket. And if you don't know in your mods, up here in this area, somewhere up here is going to be the eyes. So to make something glow, it's got to be white. And if it's black, it won't show glow at all. It won't have any kind of effect. But the more light color, like white, you make it, the brighter it's going to glow, the better it's going to look. So the eyes I have whited out here. Everything else is black except for these little bits and areas. That's how you're going to make it glow. But this is not enough. You have to have the RV mat, and we'll say go here. I'm going to copy this. Now this is a mod. This is modified. This is not in most Dayz RV mats. So I'm going to go again right in here. Can you explain this snippet of a Dayz .rv mat? Paste in your snippet. Yep, that's one much simpler than your stage 4 example, but it's doing something very specific in Dayz.rv mat. Stage 8. This is the 9th texture slot in the material. Stages are 0 indexed. In Dayz Arma materials, the higher stages are often used for special overlays, effects, or emissive maps. Stage 8 is commonly used for emissive color textures, textures that glow. Stage 8 is commonly used for emissive color textures. This is why in Dayz we do not see a tremendous amount of items in the game that have glowing effects, because almost every RV mat in the game does not have a glowing effect unless it is a particle, unless it is like, say, the chem lights or the mummy zombie eyes. Unless it's an item like that, it will not have a stage 8. Okay. The lights, for example, for cars and things like, they have probably stage 8 RV mats. Path to the texture being used in the stage, the naming E_co is a giveaway. _co equals color map, E equals emissive variant. And that's true. I named that based off a naming format I found for the chem lights, and I found for other objects that do have. This texture will be used to color the emissive areas, in your case, probably Freddy Krueger's glowing eyes. And they announced that because of my name. Text gen controls how the texture coordinates are generated. 0 means they use the model's normal UV mapping. No procedural mapping like environment mapping, sphere mapping, or cube maps. Other text gen modes exist, but 0 is standard for fixed UV map textures. Right? So in plain English, this stage is assigning the glowing eyes emissive texture for the material. Now this is what those original modders, I will find their name and I will post them in the description below. It's like DNCS or DNSC scripts or modders workshop, and they're the first ones that realized that if you make a stage 8 and you just color the eyes white and create an emission.pa, that you can make the eyes glow on the zombies. And then from then, a lot of people learned you can make other things glow by doing the same thing. So that's what I did. If you want, I can make out exactly which stage Dayz typically uses for diffuse or for normal or SMD eyes or emissive. It's okay. What is this SMDI? Let's copy that. What does a SMDI dot PAA do in Dayz. Alright, so what's the purpose of an SMDI? This is a way that you can use Dayz, ChatGPT AI, to help you understand what these things mean if you don't understand from the beginning. I didn't know what an SMDI image was. So in Dayz and SMDI.PA, texture is a multi-channel data map that combines several different surface properties into one texture. S is for specular, M is for metalness, D is for diffuse, indirect light occlusion, sometimes gloss matte beta, and I for indirect lighting. Now, in other games, all of these aspects have their own image. Like they'll have a specular image, and a metalness or roughness image, and a diffuse image, and an AO image, and an AS image. But in Dayz, they created, they put all this into one image called an SMDI. What actually inside an SDMI? Bohemia uses RGBA channels to pack different grayscale masks into one texture. So that's how they do it, saving space on the game, so you don't have to download so many images. Red is your specular intensity. Green is your metalness. If it sees blue, it's going to look it's your specular power and glossiness. Alpha is A, indirect light and ambient occlusion. Darkens crevices, seams, and areas that shouldn't receive full ambient light. How sharp or blurred the reflection is, high equals sharp and low equals soft. So why it's important, SDMDI.PA works together with diffuse underscore code.PA and normal map no HQ.PA to define the materials and look. Without a proper SMDI, your textures may look too flat, too shiny, or too metallic. If you make all channels pure white or black incorrectly, the model can appear washed out, like metalness, or complete matte. When replacing or making custom SMDI maps, you need to carefully balance the channels so you don't break the lighting. Common modern mistakes, you've hit this before. If you make an SMDI but accidentally over brighten the red channels, everything becomes chrome-like. Max out blue, you get unrealistic plastic glass glare. Mess up alpha, ambient shadows vanish, and the model looks like it's from all directions. Now, let's open and go to Dayz Tools in the viewer. Let's go text viewer, and we're going to open, for example, a Topps shirt. Let's open a t-shirt. I'm going to go back in here to the game, files, go to Dayz. We're going to go to characters, and let's go to Topps. These are two different tops, all right? So let's look for a t-shirt, for example. And what we're going to look for is just a regular, like, black t-shirt. It's a hoodie. Long sleeve shirt. And we're going to open the SMDI. And the reason for this, I want you to show the differences here. Long sleeve shirt, SMDI. So this is the long sleeve, like, black shirt. And this is what the SMDI image will look like for this. We're going to click open. And you're going to see that you have all of these reds. And I'm kind of going the wrong way here. You're going to have all of these reds and red areas. And this is going to make it look one way. Now let's do another thing. Let's file open. Kind of see how that looks, right? Let's open, for example, raincoat, because they look more plasticky, not like cloth. Raincoat, 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 raincoat. Raincoat. Let's go to the black raincoat. That's the ground level. Hold a second. SMDI raincoat, right? We're gonna open it now. You see how this one has got the basically the color base is probably been descaled to gray or desaturated, and then turn around. They put this red layer over top of it, and then made it into one image. I'm gonna open this. Now you got a more purple looking color, and you have this yellow area. Now, why in one SMDI it's more red, but this is more purple, and you still have your dark your valleys, your shading inside the image as well. And we can't see it every pixel, but the game can tell if it's supposed to be light, dark, shadowed or not. And this pink color tells the game to make it look more plastic instead of more like cloth. And this yellow area, not quite sure what that's being used for. But you go in here and it explains it. Over brighten the red channel, everything becomes chrome-like. It looks more metally or more chromy, plasticky. Max out the blue and you get an unrealistic plastic glare. So that blue and that red together, I guess, is somehow making it look more like this. And from that, it's telling the game through the lighting what it should look like when it's on the model, and how the lighting inside the game, the world lighting, should make it look. And this is what it was telling me, that I had some when I was messing around with my models the last time. I had put in some different settings in the RV mats, and I had some of them look exactly like like a X-Man, the one that turns metal. My zombies were all looking like him. If you want, I can give you a GIMP Photoshop channel workflow so you can edit the SMDIs. It will give you instructions. Let's say, for example, yes, please. So this is a mod that I haven't touched in a few weeks, and I'm going back into it like it's nothing. It remembers thinking longer for a better answer. It'll take a minute. It'll answer this question, and it will give you instructions on what I should do in GIMP, for example, step by step, and what things I should change to make my image look better the way I want. And what each SMDI channel does. It explains all of that. Safe value cheat sheet for cloth, for leather, for painted metal, for bare shiny metal, for skin or Daisy zombies. You want to keep all of these settings within this range. Wet or slimy eyes and teeth, you want to have them in this range, right? So if you see this, everything looks like metal issue, your G channel is too bright, non-metal should be 0, right? GIMP workflow, it'll tell you exactly what to start with. Start a working base. Go follow these instructions. Build grayscale mask for each property. Assemble channels. There are lots and lots of ways here. If you don't understand how to do something, you can simply ask AI what something means, and then how can you change it. Say, if you're working on an RV mat, you can let's copy this RV mat. Copy this whole RV mat right here. This is for my Freddy Krueger eyes. And you can change it Say let's say he has green eyes. I'm not sure what his eyes are right now. Red, I think. But let's go back to ChatGPT. Can you tell me the settings I should change in this .rv map to make Freddy's eyes purple, glowing. Paste. Now, to make Freddy's eyes glow purple instead of red, you only need to change the emissive color values in the RV mat to match purple while keeping the intensity high enough for the glow effect. So the current line, red glow, emissive equals 10,000 bright red glow, and it puts these comments out there so I know what it's for. Purple is a mix of red and blue with little or no green. For a strong, vivid glow in Dayz, we want both the red and blue channels to have high values and the alpha last value to remain high to keep brightness. So if you want a rich neon-like purple, you can boost one channel slightly more to lean toward magenta violet instead of flat purple. So here we have a 10, the same, make that 12, a 0, we're going to keep that 0, a 10, so red, green, blue, we're going to increase that to 10, we're going to increase, it was a 10, we're going to increase it to 15, and 5, we're going to keep it high at 5. The first number is the red channel intensity, we'll make it more red. Second channel is green, but we don't want to have any green. The third channel is blue, channel intensity right here. So we've increased that a bit because we wanted that red and the blue to come through. And fourth, the brightness multiplier, leave it at 5 for a strong glow. Now if we want it to be less of a glow, a mild glow, a small glow, we can make this a 1 or 2 or 3, and it would change it. And you can play around with it. Extra glow punch. Since stage 8 is already pointing to this emissive texture, you don't need to change it unless you want the texture itself tinted purple. If the current eco is red, you can recolor it to purple in Photoshop or GIMP so the texture base color matches the new emissive value. This will make the glow richer and not just tinted in the game. So it even tells you, take the image, go back into GIMP or Photoshop, and recolor those areas that are red. You want to make them look purple, recolor them purple, and it will give a vibrant glow, a more rich glow. Final recommendation, change this line to this line, and optionally recolor Freddy Krueger eyes E-code.PEA to purple so the glow color matches even. Its emissive effects are reduced at night or in shadows. If you want, I can give you exact GIMP channel settings to turn that current red eye texture into a glowing purple without affecting the rest of the zombie's look. That way, the .rv matte and texture both work together for maximum effect. So this tells you exactly what you can do to change even the simplest thing. And if you don't understand it, you can ask. I'm not going to continue too much longer. I will show you that if you go, for example, to, let's open one of my scripts. I don't care if you see these scripts, they're created by ChatGPT on a lot of time and effort that I put into them. Asking ChatGPT to create certain things. So let's go, I'll stick with my Freddy Krueger zombie classes, no, entities, characters. No, that's another thing. Creatures, infected. All right, so let's go to FreddyKrueger.c. Where's he at? FreddyKrueger.c. This is a script. This script has a lot of my effects and features and scripting on how I get my zombies to change. and it's not as hard as you think. And you can stop and pause this. You can copy parts of this. I am not going to come after you. I'm not going to DMCA you. But if you do use any bits of my script, just like any other awesome workshop Dayz modder would say, please give me a credit in your mod. It took me a lot of effort, time, and just hours and hours of getting the scripting done because I am not a scripter. So I had to rely on ChatGPT to help me, but I also had to be smarter than ChatGPT to tell it, hey, you did something wrong. It's not working, or that's not Dayz script. It's not M4 script. Why are you showing me this in another script? Anyway, I will open this in my. We're now in my FreddyKrueger.c. Now this is a lot more sophisticated than your average. Most of them don't have .c's, by the way, because you only need the script like this if you're going to make the zombie do something that it normally does not do. So, for example, this if you're familiar with the mummy zombie, they I wanted to find out how. So let's go to that real quick. I wanted to find out how Dayz was making its eyes glow, and making its eyes turn on and off when it died. So one of the ways that it accomplishes that, because if it can do that live in front of us, then you can use that script to change the look of the zombie completely. So let's go back, before I show you that whole script, let's go back to Dayz. Let's go to characters. Or no, I want to go to scripts. And we're going to go, can't remember where it's going to be, but data, no. World, I think. Entities, infected, I think. Right. Creatures, infected. And we're going to leave zombie base.c. Disinfected. Okay, zombie base.c. And we're going to go find the mummy. M-U-M-M-Y. So we'll go look for anywhere in here that has mummy. Nothing. Change. What did it say? Alright, maybe these are just the ones overall. Alright, so let's go back one. Dayz. I found this with the mummy zombie infected. Characters, zombies. Now that script is not going to be in here, but if you go to the mummy zombie, what was his name? Mummy zombie, somebody. Mummy. Alright, so mummy.p3d. That's his file, right? You go to mummy. Now how they accomplish this is having two different RV mats. And I'm going to show you that. So if they want an effect to happen, you got to have two, like the eyes to glow and then the eyes to not glow. You accomplish this through having two RV mats, and then you have a change visual command. In Dayz, there's a change visual command, and what you're going to do is, if it has a change visual command, you're going to tell it to override the visual effect or .rvmat of the model, because we're not supposed to open these models and see what they are. But if you go down to the mummy, you will notice that there's a mummy dead RVmat, and there's also going to be one for the regular zombies. But if you look in this mummy dead RVmat, you're going to go down to, and there's going to be a stage 8. Look here, stage 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's not a stage 8. But what they've done is they have changed the image. 3 or 4. Where is it stage 5? They've changed it where the eyes will be off. They won't be glow, and they'll be off. So there won't be a stage 8 because they'll be off. But if we go find the mummy, there's going to be one for the RV mat here. Here it is, mummy at RV mat. Let's open that one. So if you go down here, there should be a stage 8. Text gen. Stage 8. Now look, the mummy.rvmat, there's a stage 8 because the eyes are going to glow while it's alive. So what it does is, when you kill the mummy zombie, and it says, okay, the mummy zombie is dead, it invokes a change visual script or command and changes it from displaying using this RVmat, which uses this image. See the E for emission. Instead of using this image, it goes and changes it and deletes that. So it goes back to a zombie with no glowing emission. There's nothing here. That's how it creates that effect. So you can use that same command, for example, in my Freddy Krueger.c script. We'll go back there and going to go to my script. So that's how I learned how can I accomplish that. So going to zombies, I go to change the RV mat. I wanted to have one RV mat for one status of the zombie and a different RV mat for another, and another RV mat for to change it back to when it's dead. And basically most of the time it's just the for my mod, it's just the when they die, just to go back to what they or the original vanilla file. So if I go to my scripts in my game, for world, entities, creatures, infected, Freddy Krueger.c, you will see I have a command in here called change visuals to destroyed. Now, what that does is a change visual. It's going to find what is the change visual in the mod on the model, and it's going to tell it, it's going to override it to be this. So you have to use that along with this right here, set object material, in other words the RV mat, to this RV mat, which is the vanilla RV mat, and set the object texture to the one the vanilla texture. So in my I had my zombies coming first, walking around when they spawn in as the original zombie, and then when you get close to them, they'll change visual command to this RV mat, set object material. Here's the pathway, Freddy Eyes Krueger Eyes RV mat, And by changing that, it turns on the glowing effects. It turns on that RV mat, and telling it to now also change the texture, object texture, to this RV, to this PA. It changes the texture of the zombie as well, so it has a whole different look. And by using this change visual command in different ways, you this is the change visual command, and this is what, when, or why, right? I can't explain this to you. I'm not a scripter, but I can tell you that that's the when or why. And this is the how, or where, or what it should look like. Then after you kill it in my script, when it is destroyed, there's some other stuff in here that tells you how to do that. I want it to revert back to this RV mat and this PA. Now these are the vanilla ones. So what that does is a couple things on the server. After you kill some of my zombies, it takes that 4K image away. It makes it go back to the 2K image. It helps cut down on any lag that might be being created from so many of my zombies being dead, laying there with 4K images on them. So this is a bit of keeping things neat and lower use of the server's resources by doing this. But this change visual, if you want something to not glow and then you want it to glow, or you want it to look one way and change and make another way, you want to research this change visual, right? So if I copy this, because I found this in the Mummies script. I can't find it today, but I found it in the Mummy script in Dayz. You can accomplish a lot of things. So you can do this with shirts, you can do this with zombies. Any object in Dayz now that has a change visual setting in its model, you can go back in and tell it to change visual and set the object material and set the object texture to something different at different times, when it's shot, when it's killed, when you've put it on, when you've taken it off, all kinds of things that you can accomplish. Go back into ChatGPT. Can you explain the following Dayz script command? Paste it in there. And it's going to tell you, what does change visual mean? The purpose is that you dynamically, that's what we're missing in Dayz. A lot of stuff does not happen dynamically. Now, there are some things happen, events. We're used to having dynamic events. But this is where you can take a object like a zombie or a t-shirt or anything that has some coding involved with it. It tells it when to do certain things or whatever, or it has, and you can add a script in there to have it dynamically change how an object looks without having to spawn a new entity. That means you can reskin clothing, weapons, zombies, or props in real time. Perfect for effects like my mod, Zombies for You, mind state material swaps, which is how I accomplish it. But I use that command, change visuals. Function signature, void change visual, string selection, string new visual. Selection, the name of the hidden selection as defined in the model's config.cpp. Examples, camo ground, zibitech, personality, body, head, eye glow, new visual. The path to the new texture, .pa or material or .rvmat, depending on how the selection is set up. Example, swapping a zombie's texture. Change visual, personality, Zombies for You, data. This guy, my Jason Voorhees aggro. Example, swapping to a different RV mat. Eye glow, a zombie for You glow eyes. What it actually does under the hood, the game model has hidden selections and hidden selection textures. So these right here, when you do change visuals, you're telling it to change the model's hidden selections and hidden materials and hidden selection textures, or it says here hidden selection materials, defined in the config.cpp. So in your config, you can have one selection and then tell it with a change visual command to change it real time from whatever the config says to the one that you put in the script. For this selection, stop using whatever is currently loaded and replace it with this. It can change both textures and materials, so you can swap colors, change glow levels, and switch to damaged, bloodied versions of a model on the fly. That is another way that when you shoot up a zombie or whatever, beat it up, and it starts looking like it's bleeding, or even us, our characters, that is how they're accomplishing it, is through a change visual. They're adding that bloody stuff, the bloody RV mat, over the top of the current RV mat, current PA, by telling it, if I get down to 20% health because I'm getting beat up, add this .rvmat image on top of what's there, and it makes us look like we're bleeding. This is how Dayz accomplishes anything that changes visually in real time. It doesn't do a whole lot because we don't see these effects as we do in modern games, but this is how you can add it more. What it's used for in modding: dynamic visual changes, zombies goes aggro or texture swaps to bloody glowing version, damage states for clothing, armor, or props without needing multiple objects. Seasonal events switch a whole set of textures to Halloween or winter version mid-game, like while you're playing the game, in front of you. Upgrades or customizations, paint jobs, decals, team colors. You can do all of these things. So later on, to say you decided that you wanted to have a specific team color, if it's in the script, and you if a mod, it has a script, for example, armbands, you could create armbands with a script that if join team B, when they put on their armband, it's going to be the team B armband instead of a team A armband. Now you can just do that by simply retexturing and handing out the armbands, but you could also script it where, for example, if the person had a armband, let's say a white armband, that, and they joined a team, a group, that it would instantly change the script of that white armband to a blue armband with the word Team A or Team B on it. There's lots of things that you can do with this, but you need to use a script. So I know this is not getting a little bit further than beginner modder stuff, but you can get this far by using AI to explain what these things mean. And then you can ask it, well, how can I accomplish this using a change visual? Because that's exactly what I did. I found out where there was a change visual in the game in front of us. The zombie's eyes go dark when it dies. The mummy zombie particularly. And I used that, and I extrapolated the whole idea off on how to get these zombies to change. And you can do this with zombies, you can do it with clothing, you can do it with guns, you can do it with all kinds of different things. And it's amazing the limits here. There are no more limits. Only if the game can handle it, you can find the codes and cons commands that you can use to make things happen. I'm going to take a quick break. Whether you're watching or not, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to put you on a different scene. I'll just put you on a scene here, and you can just read this if you like. Uh, what does it do? And I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Uh, what I want to do is, since I've added a lot more features into its scripts, um, I I got this working. It took me almost a year where the zombies would change in front of me. It took me almost a year of researching and trying things out to get things to work and then ChatGPT evolved better and better. When I first asked some major modders in the Dayz community, um, a few of them had told me that this may not be possible. That it's never been tried, particularly on the zombies. And then they asked somebody that was even better than them, and we all know these people, or know of these people. And I was flat out told I can never do this, um, especially with AI and ChatGPT. But I have, and it took a lot of work. Um, but one of the things I want to look at, I am now, because I've added more effects and more commands into my scripts. As you saw earlier, on the server side, um, my alien abductor was able to change. My Jason Voorhees aggro was able to change live on the server, and I had all this working before they would all do it. But since I've added some commands in my scripts, so I'm going to open some of the file. Open. I want to go to the script for my alien abductor. So alien abductor.c, and then I'm going to go to, I know the file open, say Billy Mays, my Billy Mays Z um, mod or script, sorry, for my zombie. And I want to look at something. I'm going to go to the end here. Got a lot of these guys where they, a lot of my, so many scripts here open because I'm working on a couple different projects at the same time. And just want to go all the way to the end. All right, so this is my .c for Billy Mays. Something in here, and it has to do with this command right here. The change visual has to happen on the client side. If the change visual doesn't happen on the client side, the client won't see it when it's on a live server. So this is a combination, a command, sorry, that tells it, and if in the server, do this. But the problem is some things can't happen on the server side because the client won't be able to visually see it. It has to happen on the client's computer. And one of the things is these change visuals. So that's the key to this. When you write your script, that any update state visuals, um, that could be wrong. In fact, it probably is wrong. It's not, which is why it stopped working. Chat GPT, you have to watch it. It will rewrite codes that you did not want it to do if you give it the whole script to rewrite, and just fix one thing way down here in this, say this area. I would just want that fixed. It sometimes will rewrite the whole script or correct something up here it thinks is right that was working before, just because you're trying to add this in. So that is one thing on the chat GPT. You have to tell it, don't make any changes except this. Or you can do like I do and copy paste where the problem is. You can copy paste this out and then paste it in there and tell it fix this only, and then copy out the fix and put in there. That is one of the things that you absolutely have to do when using AI to help you script in N4Script for Dayz, because N4Script is a proprietary language. It is a type of C language, and there are similarities of its syntax with other languages, and Chat GPT will forget that and write it in the wrong format and change things, and then you'll find out, well, what was working is not working anymore. Um, so you have to define things and tell what it is, what you want to do. Now let's go find. I got to find the file for the alien abductor, which is going to be here towards the beginning. Soldiers, alien abductor. Okay, so somewhere in here, I have my alert distance outside of this, and you say, it says right here, and then the change visual is true. Switch to alerted visual. Alerted is true. Set the state to alerted. Um, my script changes a little bit of how the game functions in this matter, in that I added a functionality that if you're within a certain range of the zombie, it will do a type of alert and react and give you like the void delayed calm. But here's that change visual again. The change visual is false. The alerted is false. It will reset the ambient sound for the next detection. This is the newer sound. But something between the two here is different. So what I'm going to do is copy this. Copy. And I'm going to use the AI to see. Okay. On my zombies for you scripts, or .c scripts, my alien abductor is changing visuals correctly. Server side on a server, but the Z for you underscore Billy Mays is not. Can you look at my scripts and tell me what to fix? So I'm going to paste this in, go all the way down to the bottom of this. Now this is a lot. A whole section or file is a lot for. Um, and so it's evaluated and said that that happens when there's a get hidden selection index is incorrect. So it could be camo, or it might be um, zip tech or body. Um, but I had this working before, and I've added it in more scripts. And then what happened is, after it told me to add certain things to happen within if on server, uh, these other the actual change visuals got broken on some of the zombies. Um, so alien abductor extends the patient's skin, which does use camos, so your code hits a valid index. Resolve the correct hidden selections at runtime. Try common names. Pick the first valid. Cache the index so you're not looking it up every time. Use the correct vanilla fallback RB matte texture. Billy's base model. Don't revert to base and skinny files if Billy isn't the base. Add a one-line log. Oh, that might be the case. I might have copied some other scripts to make things work, and I've copied over the wrong base in there. So here is the current Z4 U underscore Billy Mays .c script. Check it, please. Now, go back into my scripts and go to my zombies for you, Billy Mays. Copy that. Paste it into ChatGPT and enter. And it's going to look at this and then see where I made the mistake. Hopefully. I know this is kind of tedious, but this is what I had to go through as a modder to get things to work. And, you know, hopefully it would teach you that, or let you learn that people who are making mods, they go through quite a lot, especially if they are not a professional scripter. Good news. This looks like a class selection plus name mismatch problem. Two things to fix. The class name must match your config.cpp exactly, case sensitive. Your script defines class Z for you underscore Billy Mays, capital Z at the end, but you referred to it as Billy May Z elsewhere. If your config vehicles uses this lowercase z, the script won't bind and none of your visual code will run. Make the class name and constructor name match your config entry exactly. Camo probably isn't the correct hidden selection for this zombie base. Many zombies use personality instead. If get hidden selection index camo returns -1, set object material texture calls are no ops. Here's a tight drop in that fixes both issues. Adjust the class actor name to the one in your config and keep your path. So let's go to my config because I got to make sure that it's the same. So I'm going to go back to Zombies for You and my config. And then I'm going to scroll up to the top here because it's very long. That config has 12,000 lines in it. And I'm going to Control F and I'm going to look for Billy Mays. Billy. Just type in the word Billy. We're going to find all of them. We're going to go to the first one. Now, right here, I call him Billy Mays. And he's my first one. First zombie ever I created was Billy Mays. So I have to make sure that my scripts and all match. So let's go back into my scripts here. Sorry, I was already there. And go down to Billy Mays. And I want to find anywhere that it says Billy Mays. In fact, it's probably told me here. So C4U Billy Mays extends in the very beginning. Okay. C4U Billy Mays. Why would it tell me the opposite? Okay, boom. Config base, exactly. Base. With a capital Z. I have to make sure in my config I do reference him as Billy Mays with a capital Z, so I'm not sure exactly what it's talking about. Billy Mays, let's see. Well, anyway, let's Control F this. Billy, gonna find. Oh, this is my sounds, that's why. This one here. Alright, so the Billy Mays. I think that's a little bit of a bullshit answer. However, the other one may not be. The other fact that I've called it change resolve section. It should be this is where it's going to put in for a log. So if it doesn't work, it will print out a log a file and then tell you it's not working, but I don't have that in my .c's yet. My .c's are not that sophisticated. Must match class name exactly. Yes, I know that. Okay, so where does it not meet that? Let me look in my scripts. Billy Mays. Billy Mays. Billy Mays. It matches it just fine. Ah. Well, anyway, it takes a lot of time. I'm gonna have to go through this, but you can see that it makes suggestions for you. They're not always correct. What it thinks it sees is not always correct, but it does get you to look in the areas that you might be making a mistake. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna put it into my script at the very top just to make sure I have it correct and see if it changes anything. Really didn't change anything. So the other thing is, oh, crap, not what I meant to do. Copy, make sure that's the same. This should not matter, but I will change this to a big Z. And then what we'll do is I'm going to rename that file as well. Z4U underscore Billy Mays alerted. So I have to make sure that sounds the same. Billy Mays with the Z, big Z. So Tommy calls this name. Same thing here. I'm going to make those files big. I'm going to file. I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to go into my mod, go to my data, go to my things here. I'm going to find Billy Mays. Rename. Now that's probably it right there, right there. There's the problem. You see that RV mat? Go back to your scripts and see the RV mat for him. Billy Mays blue, don't stop. But Z for you, Billy Mays .paa. That should be correct. Let's go back and check. Billy Mays, blue eyes. Now Z for you. Underscore Billy Mays .pa. Billy Mays, no HQ. And like I said, creating your own bitmaps or normal maps, not bitmaps. Let's go to GIMP I'm going to open my GIMP, and I'm going to open this Billy Mays. So I'm going to go to Tools first. I do have a PNG, but I want to use the current image. So I'm going to go to Tools, Text View. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to open my Billy Mays. Oh, this is my clothing mod. Okay, let's go to this and go to Zombies for You and go to Data. And I'm going to go down to my Billy Mays. Open this. File, Save As, and I'm going to put this on my desktop. And I'm going to change it to PNG. This is how you get the image out so you can work on it using Dayz tools. So now I have that image there. Now go to my folder, go to my desktop. I now have this image here. File, open with again. Open with, input again. Now it's open, right? So say you have your image here and you want to make your no HQ image, which I'll make a video just focusing on this. The easiest way, if you're using GIMP, is you're gonna select the image, Control A, cancel, Control A to copy it. Right? Now you can do filters, tools. Sorry, colors. Go to colors, and you're gonna color it to gray, if I'm not mistaken. Click OK, and then you're gonna go to tools or filters, and go to generic, and click normal map. And what it does is it creates this map that Dayz or games engines can read and tell the model what's high, what's low. But Dayz does things sometimes differently than the other games. So before you complete this, you want to zoom in and you want to look at things like the eyebrows and the eyes and the nose area and the lips. And you can see here, this is his bottom lip, and his bottom lip is inverted. It's pressed inwards. So one trick is, if you want to try this out, is go down to when this pops up on GIMP, click on flip Y. And when you do that, you'll see his lips go from being kind of indented to being pressed out, and you have his mouth, like the creases around his mouth and underneath his nose are going in. And you want to look at things like around his eyebrows. Now they go in, it's kind of opposite what they should. But you can look at different spots on the image and make sure that what is out is supposed to be out, and what is in is supposed to be in. Okay, OxyClean, we want that to stand out on the image, so it needs to look like it's standing out or raised up. So if we click this and flip it again back to original, you can see that this is detailed where it's going. It's depressed, it's going in. We don't want that. Dayz will read it this way, and it will look wrong on the zombie and on the model. So we're going to, on this particular case, and you need to do this on case by case basis, we're going to flip the Y axis, and when we do that, it now stands out and looks like it's raised off of the jacket, right? Because we know he has the jacket, but I put a little extra emblem here, so we know who this guy is, right? And you can do things like zoom in on the zipper and see, and zoom out a bit. You can see if it's sticking out. You can go down to these little ridges here and see like if they look like they're supposed to, like the bottom of our jackets and our sleeves. If you go here and see maybe this pocket, does it look raised or below or indented? We're way in there. This image is just a 2K image. But before I would even work on this, I would make it a 4K. But this is how you create a, I'm gonna back this out. This is how you create a normal map. So you can do this right here. You're going to Control A, color to gray, and then go to Tools, or Tools or Filters, Generic, and Normal Map. And then you're going to look to see if you need to flip the Y or not. Now, to me, his lips should not look indented, but the tail all is going to be that emblem that I put on there of his jacket. Now, I don't want that to flip in, so I'm going to flip the Y here and click, and I'm going to click OK. And then it's going to go through and create this image. And then what you're going to do is, for naming convention, you're going to click File, Save As. You're going to hit Escape in there, Billy Mays underscore, and you can put an underscore no HQ. No HQ dot, no HQ, right? Because this is the project. So we're going to save, and I'm going to file, and we're going to export it as nohq.png. Let's see for you, Billy Mays, nohq.png. Click export. So when we export it, it's going to put it back in the same folder it came from, which is the desktop. So when I come back to the desktop now, I should have, it should have overwritten, got this, but we should have a nohq.png, which we won't be able to see. It just be in the name. Right here. No HQ right here. Right? Sorry. Go to the GIMP. Oh, it hasn't done it yet. Then it's going to ask you if you want any compression on the image, and I don't want any compression. So now we have it here. This blue image is now our no HQ or our normal map image, right? And that's the naming convention for Dayz. I've now opened this here. And what you would do is, in your config, you would tell it, let's go to config. In the config here, or it's not. Oh, this is script, sorry. In the config for Zombies for You, this is Two-Face. So my Billy Mays could be way up here. Now in Billy Mays, Z4U underscore Billy Mays, what I did is I went into my configs and I set them all up to come in as the normal zombies. So that is not going to happen there, right? So we have Zombies for You. As soon as it gets down to him, Billy Mays, right here. Now this is my sounds for call to arms. Excuse me. Billy Mays. Here we go. This is Billy Mays, and his hidden selections is the vanilla for that vanilla RV mat and the vanilla texture, because that's how I want him to come in, and I want him to change. So if you go into his script, .c script, this is the change here. Blue eyes.rbmat. Now I wrote this out here with the big Z, but realized that, or small z, realized that the name of the file wasn't correct. So that's that. But if you open up, if you go back into textures, for example, go back in the config, you'll see that, oh, sorry, in the RV map. Let's now open his RV map. We're going to go back to the project, Zombies for You, and data, because I save all my RV mats in there. And we're going to look for Billy Mays RV mat. So blue eyes, Billy Mays blue eyes RV mat. This one right here. So we're going to open this. Now, if you open this, remember the different stages, they have different things that they do. And one of the stages, they look for where is the normal map, and that is in stage 1. So in stage 1, which is right here, it tells the normal map for this zombie is this file. So we want to make sure that that's there, and that's .nohq.paa. So right now we don't have it as a PAA, we have it as a PNG. So I'm going to go into Tools, Image to PAA, and I'm going to add a source. I'm going to go to the desktop, and click OK. And it's come up with all of the possible files that can be converted to a PAA. But I don't need all this. I just want the one, right? So I'm going to process this file. We don't want to exclude PNGs because, but we can exclude JPEGs because they can't have like different kinds of layers and a transparent layer, whereas a PNG can have a transparent layer. All right, so we've done that. Now there's a .PAA in the same area. So what we're going to do is, even though I already have that image in there, I am now going to go into my desktop, and I'm going to find that one, PAA. I might have actually told that to save it in my folder. Let me see. Image to PAA. Alright, here. .pa. This is the file, right? So we're going to open it, then take this right here and copy it. And I'm going to put it into my project folder. Zombies for You, data. Right click, and I'm going to paste it in. Now it should give me an error. I do want to replace it. I want to replace it. And that's how I'm going to do it. But I really don't want to do that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to screw that up now. Because my bitmap was 4K. My normal map, actually, the image I had there was 4K. Because I've recently went through and done most of this again. But, I turned my mic off. Sorry about that. My point is that you can use the chat GPT. It will help you go through. It will help you read your files. It will help you create your scripts. It will help you, give you suggestions on where to go with your mod, what kind of ideas you should have for your mod. Go back up here to my mod itself. it will give you, like here we did this today, it will custom backpack mod, B for you, backpacks. Okay, backpacks for you, right? So that could be another mod I want to create. And I could create that and put it inside a clothing mod or whatever. Ask me to write the config.cpp. Ask me to make the RV mods. And I'm going to have to do this because I have a clothing mod with new, like, cyberpunk kind of looking colors. And I'm going to do the same thing with the backpacks and all that. So it's a full uniform. So these are things that I'm going to have to do. This will help you. This is 5 different mods: custom backpacks, custom food items, weaponry skin packs, custom clothing packs. It came with these ideas for myself. Now these are pretty common ideas that most modders will do, especially in the beginning. Simple map decoration mod. Now that's new, right? I don't know too many map decoration mods, but how to best use ChatGPT for mod creation. And it goes right through and tells you what to do, how to do it, how to get the results and the answers that you're looking for, and go from there. And then you'll be able to create items. Let's go into offline mode one more time, and I'm going to use my mods in offline mode because they are working fine. They're the even my latest renditions are working fine. Stop. I want to just restart it. Hit play. Go back into mods and make sure my mods are there. Alright, my zombies for you are working. And my clothing for you is there. So we're going to click play. And that's my zombies for you mod from Steam Workshop. It's already there. So it could be something with my server. It could be something with a few of my scripts where the change visual is not happening on the client side. So I have to look at that. Or I might have a misspelling in the class name. Or something very simple like that. This was all working before, and then when I had to add these other type of actions into my script, I did copy paste over some things and change names. I might have missed a capitalization somewhere, which I will work on. But using ChatGPT can and will help you. It can help you with ideas. It can help you with understanding what different things mean. It can actually help you create the mods and the scripts. The scripting is where it gets a little janky, where it might write script that is outside of Enforce script, and you just have to remind it, hey, I need this in Enforce script only, please, and it will do it. So I'm going to show you in a mod here, see more of the effects. I think you'll be able to see it more in the offline mode, and then I'll have to correct my mod from there so that it's working properly on server side. I'm gonna see for you. I'm gonna spawn in some of my zombies over there. It's not important. Anyway, so now I'm gonna run over there and try to get walk up to one of the closest zombies, so they don't all change at once, because they will if they sense I'm too close. This guy right here. Oh, you see him change? All right. Oh, I'm getting damaged, and I'm knocked out. I need to turn on my God mode. I wake up first. Anyway, I know this has probably been long, tedious, and not a lot of footage of Dayz. But if you're really interested in making mods, or you want to add some things to mods you already made, like a retexture of clothing or retexturing of zombie, and you want it to do certain similar things, you can get ChatGPT to explain to you what's the best way to go about it and what we need to do it. I'm gonna give myself God mode real quick because I'm just trying to get you to see the visual effects. So let's change this guy. Oh, he changed. Now on the server this happens where you won't even notice it. Oh, there he is, Michael Myers. Now let me get my shovel out, and I'm hit him, right? Now if I hit him enough, his health is going to degrade, and he's going to switch back to his damaged state, which is the original zombie. Oh, there he goes. See how fast it was, and on a server it happens faster. Alright, this is Michael Myers. He wants to play a game. Oh, this person changed too. Oh, it's Jigsaw. Oh, wow. Alright. So, this is all done by scripting that I created with ChatGPT. A retexture doesn't require scripting. But, if you want it to change dynamically while you're playing the game, you need a script. ChatGPT, there he goes. He just changed back to his vanilla state. So, you see him walking around, oh, that's another vanilla zombie. Guess what? It's not. And, you know, I can make these zombies stronger or not as strong. And then I have it for server optimization. After a few seconds, after being dead, he will change back. Or should change back. On the server, he will change back. He'll change back to his vanilla state. So I have to work on his texture a bit. So I'm going to get over here to, this is going to be our alien abductor. You see the doctor there? Let's get close to him. Oh, the killer clown, sorry. Oh, it's the nun. Now she has a specific attack. It's a particle attack and effect. It's not showing up right now, but that was that big boom that you heard. And it throws off a bomb effect. And she changes to her uniform. And that is actually one of the male zombies that I fought, the priest zombies that I've retextured to look like the nun. And they're back to the father. Alright, where are you at? Where are you at? Where is he at? He's supposed to be a killer clown from the movie, zombie movies, Killer Clown. Now, they will change back in the server to when they're dead to their body. And the reason why, because it changes it from a 4K image down to a 2K image. Let's see. I have not packed that mod for the zombie Billy Mays to take effect. But here's Billy Mays right here. Oh, see? Alright, and there's the little issues going on. Things I can fix. There's this OxyClean label. Uh-oh. Jigsaw is found me.
A little fight?
Oh, it's the Joker.
Put a smile on that face.
Oh. There's the Joker. Heath Ledger's Joker. Ooh, Wolf Girl. There's surely ToppsKillz. It's actually my face, my wrinkles, and my nose on that zombie. Like I said, as I go to hit them, they're gonna change back to their original state, and that's for server optimization. I don't want my 4K images laying there on the ground, taking up resources from the server, and they won't. It is working server side on that. Oh, she's gonna change back. She'll just be a dead vanilla zombie. Whereas there's a problem between my Joker's script and her script. It's not working properly. Now, Billy Mays.
Hello, my little piglet.
Yes.
I'm Freddy.
Oh, Freddy. Oh, where'd he go? There he is. Wow. Sometimes when you do this testing, you spawn in too many zombies. I knew that Billy Mays was almost done because he changed back to his vanilla character or vanilla look. This is the Two-Face, and he's based off the skateboarder. All right. So that happens to where you don't even realize it, or you can't. It may happen so fast that you can't detect it right away. And now he's the Two-Face. And as I go through and kill him, this is all from scripting, from retexturing and then adding a script to make that happen. ChatGPT AI resources can help you with not just the scripts, but it can also help you with suggesting colors to make things look more vibrant, to settings of the colors, to the scripts on how to make things work, to actually giving you images of like this. It gives you example images on what it might look like or how to imagine it in the game. So if I go up here, I asked it to imagine the images of what these jackets might kind of look like, maybe, or give me some hints what it's talking about. So if we go back into my current clothing project, which I'm working on and have been working on, there's some images that it gave me in. I'd have to find another type of leather to do that. But if I scroll up here enough, I'm gonna find some images. This is a long conversation. This is several days of conversation here. So if I go in here, for example, the other thing it does download links. So if I need this RV mat, I can click on that because it gave me the link, and it's expired, but it will give me the download for this. This is an RV mat for the red, and I can download that and put it right into my files, or copy it, paste it, and put it right into my file. So I have to make sure that it's correct and put in the areas only that I want as well. So this is if I wanted the Cyber Inferno Gold Jacket red, or if I wanted cayenne, or if I wanted green. It has all of these colors. But let me get up further here. There's some mistakes in the script, RV mats, but you can get all that checked as you go. Get up here to the images. Maybe I'm just talking forever, but I don't mind it if someone watches this video at a later date. It's not meant to be super entertaining. It's supposed to be meant to be more factual and more information. Alright, this is a .rv mat example. Okay, here we're going to, I gave it here are my retextured jackets, for example. My textures of those jackets, they look like this, similar to this. They look a little different now. I don't have them as grayed out and made them darker. But this is the kind of ideas that it gave me. What about like this, vest like this? Or what about jackets like this? More of a solid leather, flat leather. And it will actually generate images like this based on what you asked it to do. So ChatGPT will help you not only create mods, it'll help you give you ideas for mods. It'll help you give you ideas for clothing. It'll help you give you all kinds of procedures, ways, and steps, and things that you wouldn't even think of. It will add and suggest. Like it first suggested this, and then I said, well, can you do it with more flair, a little bit more? And then it suggested this. So I'd have to retexture boots. I have to retexture pants. I have to retexture some leather jacket. I have to retexture a helmet, and make sure it's a helmet similar to this, or with another piece inside of it. Retexture gloves, and go from there. Anyway, I hope this helps. As you can see, I have lots of scripts, lots of things here. I have lots of different things I'm working on, and this is all generated from ChatGPT. I hope that it helps you. I'm gonna turn this off now. I don't need that showing. But I hope that helps you. I hope that you can learn from some of that and go from there. In the meantime, I'm going to join a server soon. I'm going to start beating up some zombies. Got a zombie down to see if it's one of my zombies, because my zombies run off in good ways. It might be.
I want to play a game.
Oh, it's one of my zombies. Oh. This guy. Oh, whoa. Oh. So, a little more troubleshooting on my scripts again because I've changed them to add more effects. And they're a little bit broken on servers at the moment, but they are working on my offline mode just fine. This guy is Farty Bob. If I beat him enough, he'll die. And I hate to say this, but his face and dress and demeanor is modeled after my own father. So if my dad was a zombie, he would look like this guy. Oh! And he has a terrible fart. There are some particle effects and a sound effect, a death, and that's done with scripts. Here is Aggro Jason Voorhees with his mask on, his glowing eyes, his glowing uniform, the special sound effects and sounds. Right now it's just the vanilla sounds when he's attacking, but Ronette McDonald. I thought about Ronald McDonald, but this is Ronette McDonald. So, knocked her out. This is the alien abductors. You can see he's abducted a survivor right there on him. He's carrying him around. And then he wants to attack me. So, I'm going to knock him out. And put him, he's going to go back to this incognito. Or I'll kill him. I'm not going to knock him out. So I got a few things to fix. And as you can see, these are standard zombies. These are not my zombies. So they're not changing, they're not glowing, they're not screaming, they're not having their own sounds, and they're dying really, really easily. Just a couple of hits. Anyway, I got some editing to do. I hope you guys have a good time. And get back to working with ChatGPT to make my mods better and more interesting. Again, this I didn't show you that my jacket's on here. In fact, I got a zombie chasing me. So, oh, there he is. Where's he at? Where's he at? Oh, Big Ben. This is Big Ben. I textured him to have some see-through stuff, and you kind of see his bones, his broken leg over there. There's probably more I can do to make it look more authentic instead of just see through him. But I thought it was kind of cool. I beat him up. Now, the way you can see through his head is because I have the opacity in the image. The PNG was turned down a little bit when it was converted to a PEA. So that's why you can see through the zombie. Make sure you have your images before you convert them, that their transparency are all the way 100%. You don't want them all the way down or too far down, because then it will just do that, or you'll see through them. Oh, clothing. I think I can show you that. C4U. Is it there? Yes. So let's say the silver ones. But I want to ground silver, gold, red, magenta, orange. Sorry, I was messing up, not doing it. All these have a poor health, so they're probably not going to work very well, or even look well. But these are all, you know, you can go and find ChatGPT to help you. There's some issues with that one. Go through and retexture things, for example, and get items to look better in game, to look more 4K versus 2K, to make things pop, look more clean, make things neat. Lots of things that you can do. There's my gold, orange and gold. He's gonna turn on me. Oh! Sorry, long day. But if you get here, I have not changed anything on the pockets and stuff like that. But you can see I've done retexture, new jackets that are my new uniforms that are becoming in my mod. This mod has only been used by my server, the groups of servers I was in before, but I will be releasing this to everyone when I'm done with it, and they can use it or don't use it. And I have some ideas for some other effects the clothing can help you with or not help you with, but I think it looks really good. Some of the colors pop, some of them don't. I plan on making it match a beret for the base colors of the jackets and uniforms. Let's go there and fight him. Anyway, lots of things you can do. All from using AI, using the intelligence of AI, and a little bit of intelligence from yourself to just kind of guide AI and double check AI scripts and things like that. And then when you make a mistake and you pack up your mod, it tells you there's a mistake, and if you don't, especially if you're using Macaro's tools, it will tell you there's a mistake. And then if you don't, you use Dayz tools and you get to load the game, it comes up with an error and tells exactly what file and what line to look at. And you have to do that on a one by one line basis and fix each line, and then your mod will work. And if you're already a professional scripter, you already know this, and you already know what to look for in the first place. But people like me who are not professional scripters, but we know what we want to try to do, and we know that there are confines within Dayz N4 script, and we must meet those requirements. Oh. Jason Voorhees, come on, buddy. That scared me because I didn't know that was him. Excuse me. Anyway, everyone have a good night. I'm going to end the stream here. It's been really long. And I've got to do some blurring out of certain things. And go from there. So, keep surviving. Enjoy Dayz as much as you can. If you like or don't like what I'm working on, let me know. There's comments in the video below, or send me an email or whatever. Go from there. If you have questions, you can email me. I will put a basic, I'll make a basic mod, clothing mod, and I will attach the files for it in for a basic uniform in the description of this video, even though it's a live stream, and then you guys can look at it, go from there. I'll download everything that the Dayz, AI tells me to generate, and the files it generates for me. And I'm going to add that in the description of this video, and where you can download it. I want to thank the other modders that have been out there for a long time. Matthew, long time, but other people, Dayz, Granddaddy Dayz, Grandpa Dayz, Tweaks, other people that I've ran into that taught me stuff while I was playing on servers. I talked to people one time, Bugsy, thank you for him, because his mods taught me a lot about the colors and how to change visuals, well, about setting object materials and setting object textures. And then I looked further into it actually in the game and found vanilla scripts that I could use, vanilla ways I could use vanilla versions of the game, how it was doing it versus how Bugsy was accomplishing his scripts, because I can't use their scripts unless there's permission, but he had released the Party On mod so that we could look into it. Other mods out there will give you permission to look and learn, and that's a good thing. Just don't copy people's scripts. But the scripts that I have in my mods are all from ChatGPT that's helped me. If there's anything that you can take away from what you see in this video, please do so. And if you got it from this video, I'm not going to turn around and DMCA you. I want you to learn. I want people to have use their imagination to create things for Dayz that don't exist, because it keeps the game enjoyable and fun. Have a great time. ToppsKillz, thank you. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, well, let me know that too. Have a great night, and bye.